Every update, it seems like Mojang wants to add a new structure, a little something new to spice up the Minecraft skyline. Unfortunately, every addition has detracted further and further from the lonely feeling that the game once aced so well. Every structure has filled in the gaps between previous structures, and the empty feeling that Minecraft was once known for has been all but lost. The idea that Minecraft has become a bloated and overcomplicated game when compared to what it used to be is a common complaint, but not many seem to mention the changes that Mojang have made to bloat the actual game world itself. Finding a structure used to be magical. Seeing a desert well for the first time, or discovering a labyrinth of abandoned mine shafts, would create wonder about the lore of this world. Villages were rare and sought after, and provided more questions than answers. The player would spend most of their time in isolation from any sign of civilization, instead creating one of their own as the reclusive soul left behind in a raptured world. Most of these new structures, apart from the trail ruins, are admittedly very fun. They harbor unique challenges for the player, and in reward provide fun new items. I just wanted to highlight that these new structures are coming with a cost, that cost being a shift in Minecraft's atmosphere. As of the 1.0 release, the only structures populating the world were dungeons, mineshafts, villages, strongholds, and nether fortresses. In the next few updates, we see the addition of desert wells, desert temples, jungle temples, and witch huts. These additions all effectively add things for the player to discover on rare occasions without cluttering the experience. Also, the jungle and desert temples both serve to teach the player various simple redstone mechanics. 1.8 brings the addition of the ocean monument, which is the first structure that I have a slight problem with. It is simply too easy to find a monument due to how large and open Minecraft's oceans are, in addition to the sheer size of this structure. If instead there was a limit of 1 located in the center of each ocean, I think it would significantly increase their mystique and make for interesting lore about the territorial nature of Guardians. Next, we see the introduction of igloos and end cities. Igloos do a very good job of replicating what made the jungle and desert temples so great, being a rare and biome-specific structure that teaches the player about an unintuitive Minecraft mechanic, this time being villager curing. End cities are also a good addition, but I feel as if the lack of anything else in the outer end islands detracts from their allure. If the outer islands were less samey and provided more for the player to do, stumbling across a city while doing other things would be interesting. In their current state, the only reason anyone ever goes to the outer islands is to loot end cities, so while finding them is exciting, it isn't exactly surprising. 1.10 brings taiga villages, further contributing to the trend of making structures less biome-specific. Structures were originally limited to one biome, the exception being villages, which appeared in both plains biomes and deserts. Many modern structure additions have moved away from this idea, allowing them to generate in a much wider range of biomes. Not too much later, the woodland mansion is added, which I see as the most effective structure in the game. It is rare enough to be difficult to search for, but cartographers can provide maps that make the journey easier. The structure itself is interesting and fun to explore, and the Totem of Undying is well worth the expedition. 1.13 is the update that I believe made the most positive change to Minecraft's world generation. The changes made to the oceans were drastic, but welcome and very necessary. I do, however, have a problem with the generation of sunken ships and ocean ruins. Much like ocean monuments, due to how large and open oceans are, these underwater structures are incredibly easy to find, and far, far too abundant. 1.14 and the overhaul made to villages is where the problems that I have with Minecraft structures generally begin to mount. Like I mentioned before, 1.10 brought taiga villages, and now 1.14 adds snowy tundra villages. These new village types simply increase the density of villages in the world as they bring villages to more and more biomes. This isn't the only issue I have with this update though. The addition of pillager outposts and the transition of illagers to pillagers irks me. The original illagers in the woodland mansion fit into the isolationist policy of most Minecraft mobs. Even villagers, despite living in communities, live secluded from any other kind of mob. 1.14 changes this by making pillager outposts and pillager patrols, spreading their influence further and further from the mansions in addition to attacking villages in raids. This interaction with villagers feels odd to me despite zombie sieges existing for far longer. Perhaps it's that pillagers still feel like they should be attached to a certain structure, so seeing them outside of this context feels odd. The addition of bastions and ruined portals in 1.16 just adds salt to the wound. Ruined portals are just another non-biome-specific structure populating the empty space between other structures. It could be argued that ruined portals can be used to teach new players about nether portals, but they fail on this front. While it is possible, there's generally not enough loot in the provided chest to finish and light the portal, especially with the crying obsidian in the way. Now I know I've been hating on Minecraft for a couple too many run-on sentences, but I actually believe that mojang is starting to head in the right direction. I want to see more structures like ancient cities. These are difficult to find because they are underground, and they even go on to continue the trend set by jungle and desert temples by including redstone for the player to learn from. Minecraft's tone as a piece of media has been irreparably shifted due to the addition of all of these structures. Modern Minecraft drops the player in a world teeming with life and lore. The sea is full of disintegrating ruins and sunken cities of pufferfish people. The land that once felt uninhabited now facilitates a war between two factions of what seem to be humans. Along with civilizations of piglins and shulkers in the nether and end, Minecraft now contains multiple societies that make the player feel much less alone. In versions closer to the 1.0 release, the player felt as if they were the sole inheritor of an empty world, but as updates have added more and more structures to the game, this feeling of isolation has been lost. Over the years, Minecraft has transformed from a lonely world to a bustling one. This change isn't inherently bad, but it is significant. In reality, perhaps the flaws I see aren't products of a lack of direction on Mojang's end, but a loss of imagination on mine. Exploration in this game was so much more fun back when I didn't know every intricate detail. After growing up with Minecraft, all of my questions have been answered for years. I am no longer filled with wonder after discovering abandoned structures because I have nothing left to wonder.